Good morning, boys and girls. So today is our last lesson of this chapter on measurement. Believe me, in the future you will learn a lot more about measurement. But for now, we're gonna finish it up and then move on to something new, something fun. Not that measurement isn't fun, but something more fun than measurement. So today I'm going to remind you of a couple things that we've already learned. If we ask the question, how can you use measurements to generate data? Does anyone remember what the word data means? I know that most of you probably do. It's information. Data is just another word for information. So what does it mean to generate data? Well, it means to make information. How do you make information? Well, let's see. There are a lot of different ways. When we go around the room and we vote maybe as to what is our favorite flavor of ice cream. You remember doing that? And we write down how many people vote for vanilla, cookies and cream, chocolate chip mint. Doesn't that make you in the mood for ice cream now? Go out and get a nice big ice cream cone. So that is data. When we vote and we record what people have voted for. Now, one of the things that we've learned in the past is how to record that data, how to write it down so that it's easy to read. Does anybody remember what we call a picture that we use to display information? We use a graph, and we've learned that there are many different types of graphs. Think about some of the graphs that we've learned about. Picture graphs, line graphs, bar graphs. So the reason that we're doing this lesson in this chapter is that we're sort of tying together what we've learned about measurement to using a line graph, okay, or a number line. So if you went around your house and picked up all the pens and pencils that you have, most of them will probably be the same shape. But if you pick up a crayon, a marker, a couple of pencils that have been sharpened, if you can find as many as you can, and then you measure them, and then you record the data, and then you can make something that we've learned before, okay, which is a line plot. So here you see you have a line at the bottom, and they're measuring in centimeters. So if you were to go around your house and find as many pens or pencils as you can, okay, and start measuring them and recording the data. So here it says measure 10 pens or pencils in the classroom. Use the data to make a line plot. So if you measure those pens and pencils and markers and crayons that you found, hopefully you found things that have different lengths, but some of them will have the same length, and that's okay. Now what you're going to do is measure them, okay? And each time you measure one of them, you're going to record the data. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to make a line plot. Okay? So if we go back to our picture, every time you measure something, you're going to put an X above its length. So let's say you measure a crayon, all right, and it's 5 centimeters long. Well, above the 5, you're going to make an X because one crayon measured 5 centimeters. If you measure a pencil and it measures 11 centimeters long, you'll put an X above the 11 because that's how big it was. And you'll keep doing that until you fill your line plot with X's. So we're going to show you an example on the next slide. All right, let's say you went fishing. Let's hope that's something we all get to do soon, right? Nice and warm out. And you're going to use the following line plot to answer the questions provided. But first I want to talk about the line plot. Let's say you went fishing, and when my brothers were younger, they used to go fishing all the time. And they would always catch sunnies. It's just a small fish that can be found in, lakes around where we lived. So let's say they caught, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 sunnies. And every sunny that they caught, they measured. And let's just pretend for a moment that every fish they caught, they recorded it on their line plot. So let's say my brother Stephen caught 5 fish. One of them was 3 inches long, and 4 of them were 4 inches long. So he put an X for every fish that he caught. And my other brother caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fish. 2 of them were 6 inches long. How many were 7 inches long? If you said 1, you're correct. How many were 9 inches long? If you said 3, you're correct. All right. And how many were 11 inches long? If you said 1, you're correct. And how many were 12 inches long? If you said 3, you're correct. Okay. How short is the shortest fish? 3 inches is correct. How long is the longest fish? 12 inches. How long are the most fish? So in other words, what length had the most fish caught and measured? And if you said 4 inches, you're correct. 4 fish are 4 inches long. Okay? So that's how we use a line plot. The important thing to remember is what we're measuring and how many we're getting of each of those measurements. All right, so if you make your own line plot with your pens and pencils and crayons that you find, it'll probably look a little bit like this. Okay, now here are the answers to our questions that we just asked. Shortest was 3 inches, longest was 12 inches, and the most frequently caught fish was 4 inches. And that's really why we use a line plot, to show the numbers, the quantity of things. Okay, so here's a graph for you, or a line graph, only this one measures in inches. So you can do your measurements in centimeters or inches to make your line plots. Okay. Now, there's another example. Measure the right hand of 10 people in inches. Now, unfortunately, you're probably not going to have 10 people in your house right now. That might be a good thing. So you can just make up your data, or you can find something else to measure. Maybe find 10 books or 10 toys, 10 Lego toys, 10 different anything at all that you can find that's kind of small, where you're going to come up with some different data and you can make a line plot. Okay? And I'm finding that for some reason my slides are freezing on this last page, so we can't move forward to any of the brain building or anything. But you're going to do these activities with your parents, and then what you're going to do is, for your seat work, you're going to do the homework. All right, so it's just careful measuring, recording the data. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have fun with this today. Tomorrow will be review, and then let's see, Friday I think we'll take the test. All right, boys and girls, have a great day. Right now it's sunny out. I hope it lasts for at least a little while.